Today, we're going to focus on two benefits available to veterans that often go unnoticed. These programs can play a crucial role in helping veterans achieve financial flexibility and build long-term wealth. Now, every veteran should explore these options as they are designed to provide opportunities for success. What's up, guys? My name is Casey McKeown, and welcome to the Veteran Advantage channel. I'm a proud U.S. Marine Corps veteran and had the honor of serving from 2008 to 2012 out of Camp Pendleton, California. Whether you're still on active duty, getting ready to transition into civilian life, or just curious about the benefits available after serving in the military, this channel's got you covered. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more future content. But let's go ahead and jump into the first benefits, widely known but underutilized, called the GI Bill. Now, the GI Bill can fund higher education, vocational training, or even specialized programs like theology or seminary school. For veterans transitioning out of the military, the GI Bill can provide significant financial support, including non-taxable monthly housing allowances and stipends for books. Now, for example, if a veteran in high-cost living areas may receive upwards of $2,000, $3,000, maybe $4,000 per month for housing allowance, in addition to tuition covered. This is an incredible resource for those seeking education without the burden of debt. Now, me personally, I joined the Marine Corps in 2008, and I remember in boot camp sitting down in the large auditorium. I don't know if this is done at every single boot camp, but we basically got sat down and were told to do a bunch of paperwork. We were all exhausted, and I couldn't tell you what any of the paperwork was, but I do remember them talking about a new benefit that individual military members, as long as you got out with an honorable discharge, was essentially going to be granted. Now, at the time, I didn't put two and two together, and I really just wanted to join the Marine Corps to get my school paid for. That was a big reason why I joined, but at the time, they just had the GI Bill. Now, back in 2008, I guess maybe 2009, they unveiled what is the post 9/11 GI Bill, which is really the GI Bill on steroids. Now, a lot of what I just mentioned in terms of the BAH allowance, money for books, all of that stuff is going to be accessible through the post 9/11 GI Bill. Honestly, I don't know a lot of people that are still actually using the Montgomery GI Bill or the original GI Bill itself, because the post 9/11 GI Bill just has so many more additional benefits. Now, as far as actually having this be accessible to you, more than likely, if you are on active duty or you're transitioning out or you're a recent veteran, anywhere between probably the last 10, 20 years, you likely have access to the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, I was also smart when I went in the Marine Corps at the age of 19 after I was done with training and finally in the fleet. If you're not aware of this and you're on active duty and you're available to even take an online course or maybe go to a night class itself, make sure to take advantage of tuition assistance. This is an option for you to be able to use basically to have your school paid for while you're specifically in the military itself or on active duty. Now, and that will essentially allow you to get as much school done as possible while you're in, and then also be able to save a lot of that post 9/11 GI Bill or Montgomery GI Bill after you actually get out. For example, myself, I got out in 2012, and I was able to finish up my bachelor's degree with just 2 years of my post 9/11 GI Bill. That allowed me to essentially get my master's degree as well, which was a 2-year program. So I got 2 years, my junior and senior year, covered with my post 9/11 GI Bill, and my entire master's degree paid for as well. Now, if you're not aware of the cost of undergraduate versus graduate school is substantially more expensive than undergraduate school. So I was actually able to save and stretch out my post 9/11 GI Bill even further by being smart while I was in and take as many classes as I could to be able to get as much school paid for while I was in through tuition assistance, and then save my post 9/11 GI Bill for the second half of my bachelor's and all of my master's. Now, not everyone in the Marine Corps or just in the military in general is gifted with the opportunity to be able to go to school while they're in, but just make sure that you are looking ahead for when the time comes of actually being able to get out, that you can utilize this benefit for yourself and not just either A, have to just re-enlist because you have no other option, or B, be stuck just working a 9-to-5 job, not a job that you love because you had no other opportunities out there because you weren't set up to go to school once you got out. Now, I know I could make an entire video on the post 9/11 GI Bill alone. If that's something that you guys would like to see, especially a new and updated video for 2025 here just in a month or two, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll likely do a video like that here soon in early 2025. But moving on to another overlooked benefit is the Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, which essentially focuses on employment assistance. Unlike the GI Bill, VR&E is tailored towards helping veterans find suitable careers, often funding education if it's necessary for job placement. Now, it's not limited to traditional schooling. VRNE can also support specialized training programs. Now, some veterans have even used the benefit to attend medical school or other advanced programs. Now, VRNE actually used to be called Voc Rehab, so if you're watching this video and you've heard of Voc Rehab, I'm basically talking about the same thing. Now, the main requirements for Voc Rehab or VRNE is that the fact that you have to have at least a 10% disability and you have to have not been given a dishonorable discharge. Now, there is a ton of information out there for VRNE, but if it is a video that you want to make similar to the post 9/11 GI Bill that I definitely can make myself, let me know down in the comment section below and I'll make an entire video on Voc Rehab / VRNE, just like the post 9/11 GI Bill that I likely will be making here in early 2025. So if you're a veteran yourself and you haven't taken advantage of either one of these honestly vital opportunities for you post-military life, my suggestion is that you definitely look into it. If it's been a while since you were actually released out of the military, do a little bit of research. There may be a grace period. I think typically it's anywhere from 10 to 15 years, depending on the post 9/11 GI Bill or VRNE. You may or may not be eligible for it anymore. But if you're on active duty and looking to get out soon, or maybe you're an individual that hasn't even necessarily gone in the military, but you're looking at what your benefits may look like after you get out, these are two great assets. But at the end of the day, if you are a veteran and you are eligible for either one of these, I would highly suggest that you take advantage of them. There is a reason why you served in the military, and you served this country proudly and honorably. You have been given the incredible opportunity to take advantage of these, and I highly suggest that you do. Now, both the GI Bill and VRNE have the potential to provide life-changing opportunities. For example, many veterans use the GI Bill to pursue undergraduate degrees with the added bonus of receiving a monthly housing stipend. Now, meanwhile, the VRNE can support educational and job training paths. The GI Bill or VRNE, share your experience. I would love to be able to hear your experience with either one of these. Did you use your GI Bill for college or vocational training? Did you transfer your benefits to your dependent? Or have you explored VRNE for career support? Let others know how these programs have impacted you down in the comment section below. If you found this information useful, share it with a fellow veteran who might benefit. And if you're still unsure, leave a comment with your questions or experiences down below. Your insight could help a fellow veteran. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like the video if you haven't already and subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And stay tuned for next week's content.